And we are live. Good afternoon. Holy cow, I'm already messed up blood. I'm sorry. I, I literally just wrapped up like a 2-hour show
Okay.
with like my show, plus we do a show for CALIX Solutions, our laptop company, on
Yeah, you were telling me about that last
Tuesdays.
time I was with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is it me or is the world just getting crazy?
Man, it's beyond crazy. I'm done. I don't know what to
Yes,
do,
he
Ben.
says I'm done.
I don't know what to do, bro.
I'm going
I
back to
really
the
don't.
home planet. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, bro. It's
Well, shit,
so
take
many
me
things
with
going
you.
on right now. You got, with Russia, that coup going on. Who planned it? I don't know who. You got the
Yeah.
crypto takeover, Wall Street
Oh,
attempting to
oh,
take over the crypto game.
dude,
It's a
Black
lot,
Rock, Black
right?
Rock is done lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
It there now. This is just word on the street, right? That BlackRock wants to own Coinbase.
I can believe it.
That they're trying to push Brian out,
I can believe it.
and
I can believe it
Brian's
because he's a solid dude. I didn't think he would be. Just because he sold out, right? He went IPO. When you go public on Wall Street, you're selling your soul. That's why many companies don't like going public who actually have a an honest stake and want to continue the vision, right? They don't go public. Dan Gilbert up here in Detroit, I know him. And when I found out he was taking his company public, I knew he was done as far as retiring, kind of semi-retiring at that point, because one
yep,
of his mottos was to never go public
yep.
because he knew what that entailed. You now
Well,
have
as
a
soon
board, you
as
have
you
a
do that, you know, and actually, like I said, word on the street, I have not heard this from Brian. Word on the street is that he's realizing now that the people around him that he had hired off of Wall Street manipulated him into going public so BlackRock could eventually take them over in a hostile uh, takeover.
yeah, I can see that.
It's it's actually been one long plan of hey, Coinbase is number one.
Hmm.
We because that's what BlackRock does. BlackRock don't invent nothing. They
Mm-mm.
buy shit.
Yeah, they acquire, exactly. That's how they get bigger.
Yep,
Absolutely.
BlackRock funds friggin' Bain Capital, and
Hmm.
then Bain Capital shorts the stock,
Isn't
drops
that
the
isn't that your
price.
boy Mitt Romney's crew, Bain
Man,
Capital?
man, fuck Mitt Romney. That piece of shit.
Oh man. Oh,
That,
Mitt Romney. I couldn't stand him, bro. I did not
oh,
like Mitt Romney.
it's all these motherfuckers, man. It's us against them. That's all. That's what it's come down to.
No, but you know what? I like Trump, bro. I know we've talked about it, but that's why they're attacking him so much. He's not the left, he's not the right.
Nope. He,
He's simply not. And if I
I,
mean anyone with 2 cents of a brain should be able to see the onslaught and say, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Why are they going after him so much?
yep.
You know?
Do you
So
see? God, who was it? I think it was Mike Tyson. on an interview a couple days ago. They said, "What do you think of this politics?" And his reply was, "I got Trump's back, man." Because apparently
Because
Mike,
Tyson is a real dude.
yeah,
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's not political. He won't ever be. He's a genuine guy, like him or not. That's who he is. He's going to give you his genuine opinion, his genuine self. And that's all you can do is respect that.
yep, yep. It is. He basically said, he's like, when I was on top, all right, when I was Tyson 86, 87, 88, 90,
Mm,
the realest dude he ever met was Donald Trump.
I believe it.
And he said, Trump, if you're his friend, he's got your back, up, down,
Mm-hmm.
left, and right. And
Mm-hmm.
he gave an example. He said, man, look this up. Look this up. Trump asked about Tyson's rape charge. And Trump was doing an interview, and someone asked him, you know Mike Tyson. What do you think about this rape charge? And Tyson had been convicted,
Mm.
and Trump had Tyson back. He goes, no, nope. He goes, this gal shows up at 2 o'clock in the morning out there dancing on his front door. Tyson lets her in, and and then you want me to believe he had to rape her? No, I ain't buying it.
Yeah,
And
men are in danger, Ben.
yeah,
We're on. It's a full on assault on men. Okay, whenever you can have a woman from 20 years ago, come back, and say, hey, Crypto Blood did XYZ, and then it's her word. It's her word. It's not her word against
yeah.
mine. It's literally gospel. It's whatever she says goes.
The vaginas do not tell lies, they say.
Okay, there you go. That's the operative
Yeah,
word, right? They say the
that's other
vagina tell
women
many
saying
lies,
it.
man. It tells many lies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason hell has no fury but a scorned woman.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's thousands of years old.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was probably mumbling that under his breath.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, these bitches are crazy.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
it's and you're right. They're after masculinity because
Mm-hmm.
it's the only thing that goes against them. Men, and I mean men, I'm talking our
Mm-hmm.
kind, not this limp-wristed bullshit they call man nowadays. We don't put up with bullshit, and we'll call it out.
Right.
And I've gotten in trouble for calling it out. You've gotten in trouble for calling it
Mm-hmm.
out. And we get attacked. But then when you say, where am I wrong and what? Well, it's how you say it. It's so aggressive. But
Yeah.
bitch, it's
America
the
wasn't,
truth.
America wasn't founded on beta males. They
Yeah,
were alpha males that went in, right or wrong, but they went into a territory and took it over.
yeah.
Right.
That's how shit rolls.
That's how it's been for thousands of years, Ben.
Yeah,
And
it's
and that's the thing when I say, like, I think there has to be a friction, a kinetic. If we really want change, like here in America, I'm sorry. I think we have to go towards the side of the spectrum of a civil type of conflict.
I agree.
That's the only
It's
way to change this. That's how far off basis we are.
like I remember my mom, and this is my mom, so this will tell you the household I grew up in. You can't win your way to a fight shoving. You got to punch.
Mm,
And no truer words have been spoken.
correct.
Because you and I growing up, you know, unless you're out in the playground or out on the blacktop throwing punches, nothing gets squashed.
Did you have bullies in school growing up?
I had people who tried to,
Who tried to? Yeah, same
yeah,
here. Same
and
here.
and I'm not saying I won every fight. Oscar Pugh put me in my place, 8th grade, whooped my
But
ass on
here's the
2
thing,
different
though. It,
floors.
it builds. I'm not saying that there isn't a different level of bullying today with kids. It
Yeah,
is, right, because it is on the internet. But there has to be some level of conflict that kids begin to um be what's the word I'm looking for, introduced to at a
yeah,
younger age, to understand conflict resolution, to understand how to deal with their emotions when they are confronted with an adversity. We're
yeah,
trying to
I
take all of
agree.
that away from society, from the kids, and that builds character.
A-
You need that.
Absolute. You you gotta get into fights so
Yeah.
you value the avoidance of a fight. Right? If all you ever do is talk, you'll say anything. But getting into a fight or several fights when you're younger, it it teaches you self-control and self-boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The reason I brought up Oscar Pugh, and I'll never forget his name, was I was out of line and Oscar Pugh set my ass straight real quick on 2 different floors.
Yeah.
Whooped my ass on the 3rd floor, threw me down the stairs to the 2nd floor, and
And
continued to whoop
continue.
my ass. Right? But I learned a lesson that day. You need to look before you speak. And you need to understand no matter how bad you think you are, there's a motherfucker just around the corner about to fuck you up.
That's right.
And when you carry that forced humbleness,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's why a well-armed society is a polite society.
That's right.
Because you never know the day that dude's having.
Mm-hmm.
You say the wrong thing to the wrong dude, and it just may not go your way.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know
so it
this.
keeps you pleasant.
So I have a question for you, because I heard this stat the other day. I didn't know that Switzerland has the same. Is it Switzerland that has the same amount of guns per capita? I
Yeah.
believe it's
Uh,
Switzerland.
uh, Switzerland,
Sweden.
uh,
Sweden. Is it?
Switzerland or Sweden, you're required to own a gun. Required. It's
So
by
why
law.
is it that we have the same amount of guns per capita as they do, right? But we're having these mass shootings left and
We
right. What is going on in your opinion?
look at their educate. Take a half hour, hop on YouTube and Google Swiss children's gun education courses. They teach their children from about the age of 6 how to interact with weapons and how to
Mm,
respect them. And the Swiss are uh, they they correct their children. They keep their children. There ain't no child abuse hotline. Now, I'm not saying they're beating them, but there's what I call the fear of the parent that we've
mm-hmm.
lost.
Correct. Correct.
All right, now they teach you got to be your kid's best friend. It's your job to make them smile. My dad couldn't give two shits if I ever smiled.
Yeah.
And, but he was always there for me. And if I needed the old man was there.
Mm-hmm.
But he he didn't care if I smiled. He he was training me for life.
Right.
That's what my grandfather taught him. You don't raise your children; you train them for life. And and my family, Ray, I can't say military because most of them were labeled criminals. Uh, but I was raised in an environment where violence was always an option.
Yeah.
I
Same.
mean,
Same.
it's uh, and you learned quick as a child that there was a line that existed between you and an ass whooping.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned quick because of the severity of the ass whooping, not to
Right.
even be where I can see the line, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
fuck that. But nowadays, it's this idea that children, the, did your parents ever ask your opinion of shit
Well, it
when
depends. It depends on what
under 10 years old?
they did, but again, it's context and what the opinion, what they're asking about. If it's about, maybe what I want to eat, sure.
Oh, yeah. No.
Right. But
Hey, do you want to be a little girl or do you want to be a little boy?
right. No, 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 no. No, they didn't ask anything that was actually should be left up to the uh
Yeah.
parental power. No, no, they didn't ask me that. They didn't ask me if I wanted to go to school today or if I wanted to,
No.
you
Oh,
know.
no. There was no freaking nigga. And I see this all the time. And originally, it was just women doing it. And even then, it bugged me because of my mom. But now I see men doing it. They'll sit there and they'll negotiate with their children.
Yeah, there was no, so that part, no, I didn't have a negotiation type of relationship with my parents in regards to,
None
there was
of
no
us did.
negotiating. Yeah, there was no negotiating.
There was a saying: children are to be seen but not heard. And everyone knew that saying. If the adults were talking, have a hot cup of shut the fuck up,
Mm-hmm.
and because it don't involve you. And
Daddy O says too many parents want to be their BFFs. So that's very true.
abs
And that's a perfect point there, because my mom always told me I'm not your friend. I'm your mother. I pretty much grew up like my mom raised me, but I had a relationship with my father. They didn't live in the same house. So I was pretty much primarily raised by my mom and my like close family.
Yeah.
And until I was about maybe 5 or 6 is when I met my stepfather. And so that was still fairly young, and he came into my life. But yeah, my mom was most active in my life, and she would say, "Yeah, I'm not your friend. I'm your mother."
Hmm.
So yeah, we
Uh,
gotten way off basis, man.
now, let's see. We have actually Dane here saying installing early independence. They have a voice. Now, the question I got for you is: are you saying that in like that's a good thing, or are you saying that that's what they think is a good
Yeah,
thing?
I think he's saying that's what they think. I know Dana. He's one of my
Okay,
subs. I'm sure that's what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
because
it's a fine line. I mean, you should have some level of independence, or be able to think for yourselves, but not at 5 years old, not at 10.
yeah,
I mean, it's a time and a place for all of that, you know?
yeah, it's like once I hit like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you know, that's whenever I got more freedom because I could ride a bike, I could go out and hang out with like my boys, out playing baseball and shit like that. But prior to 10 years old, I mean, it's this whole idea of like child independence at the age of 5. That's children are not prepared to make choices other
Grown,
than what
grown, right?
crayon
Grown
they
adult
want to do.
choices. Exactly.
Right. You you give your children appropriate freedom for their age.
Hmm.
Now, I know that's left up to the parents on what appropriate is, and I'm not saying, you know, uh, that anybody who's doing this to their children, that I think their children should be taken. By no means at all. What I am saying is we need to flip the culture. We need, like you said earlier, Blood, we need men to step up and go, no, fuck this. No,
Yeah.
no, no. And we do got people out there and they're getting attacked. I mean, they are getting arrested. They're getting just, I mean, it, they're going after Joe Rogan now. They're going after,
Is there
I mean,
something new? There's a new attack on Joe Rogan?
yeah, because uh, he had RFK on his show.
Okay, now let me just say I didn't know that. I got to go check that out.
All right.
Here's the problem I have with that. Here's the problem I have with that. Now, remember when Trump was running, or maybe even after, maybe the second, when he was going against Joe Biden, he said, "I won't have Trump on because I'm not comfortable with politics and I don't know enough, et cetera, et
Yep.
cetera." Now,
Yep.
come on, Joe. So come on, Joe Rogan. You
Hey,
can't you can't do that, man. If you're gonna have RJ on, you gotta have Trump on.
well, I think he's changed his mind. I think that Joe has fun. See, Joe's issue in my eyes was he never saw the intended agenda behind it. He
Or
always,
or was he playing dumb to get big enough to where he could flip, and the machine behind Joe Rogan podcast is the Joe Rogan experience is too big. I think
that
it's you get to a threshold where if you flip, it's kind of hard. I mean, they'll have to do some some Andrew Tate type stuff on them, but I don't
And
know. He's smart, man. He could be
oh, I
calculated.
know
I think he was
Joe.
calculated.
It- and I think you're right. That's that's why I'm not going after Joe on like what you said.
Okay.
He, because like back then, maybe he was laying back and just like, okay, well, I maybe he did have a clear view and just, you know, was holding it in, or maybe he. And I'm actually going to go on the side of honesty. Joe don't seem like the type of person that is gonna uh, try and manipulate uh, that large of a plan. I I think that Joe is genuinely curious on everything, and that he leaves his mind open to both sides. That's what makes his show so amazing. Is he'll bring on the left and the right, and
Yes.
he'll treat them each like honest players.
Correct.
But I think Joe now is realizing the left is not an honest player.
No, they're not playing fair at all. But at the
Nope.
same time, Ben, I'm at the point where now I'm starting to say, okay, it's so out of control with the left. Now I'm like, oh, okay, the right, you're just as bad because you ain't doing shit. You're
Yeah.
not the right ain't doing nothing, Ben. They're not standing up for us.
Well,
So now I'm mad at the right.
it's who you look at who you look at on the right. You know, we uh, I think we're at the point now where there's a lot of people in your shoes who are like, you know, fuck this, I'm choosing a side, and we need to do something. Well, I think that's what happened with McCarthy during the bringing him
Yeah.
in as the House Speaker was, you better pick a side, man, because
But do
this is
you
going
think
to come down to it.
so? Do you think I think he copped out as well. McCarthy did. I mean, the debt ceiling whole situation. He folded on that.
Yeah, but I I think that's a timing thing. See, the difference between Joe Rogan and people like McCarthy is that um, and dealing with the left. The the left, as we see with their dealings with China and Russia, they're okay going to war, right? They don't mind if we die. Where Trump and now more and more Republicans and Democrats, look at the Democrats that are supporting RFK. He's at
I'm
he's
not
at
too
53%. He's
yeah.
leading Joe Biden.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm okay. I gotta look into RFK a little bit more, but I from the little anecdotal stuff I've heard, I'm hearing them. I'm
Yeah,
hearing them. You know,
because he's
and that's what I'm
genuine, man.
yeah. But the
You
genuine
hear
don't
that
win in
dude
this
talk,
system, though.
hell, you think I have a raspy ass voice? That old boy, uh, I, I think he had like damage to his voice box, how he talks,
Hmm.
and but man, he lays it out, and and his family's going against him.
Of course, because they're the establishment. So that's what I mean. Like, so okay, you got two outsiders essentially running the pack. You got an outsider on the left. You got an outsider on the right. Trump. What happens? What
And
happens? Yeah, RFK is pro Bitcoin. I'm loving that. That really piqued my interest when I heard that. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy, he's talking something off, something different.
now I got news for you, man. So is Trump. All right. I live in Florida now. I live in Sarasota. All right. I opened this club, down here. Everything's going great. Um, there's a few shows I'm on, like X22 and other um, more political shows. I do a lot of interviews on those shows. And those shows are getting traction with Trump and the Trump gang. Like X22 had
I
Eric.
remember X22. He's not on YouTube anymore, is he?
Nope. He's
Can't be.
Look at him
I haven't
on
seen him in
Rumble.
years.
Dude,
Oh,
he
okay.
owns Rumble.
Does he?
Owns that bitch. Right?
Okay.
X22 had Eric Trump on. And they were laying
Matter of
out
fact,
some
Ben, I
facts.
think I interviewed X22. I think I had X22 on my channel back in 2017. Now that I think about it.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I did. I had X22 on my channel back in 17.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about him, man.
and he is kicking ass on Rumble like nobody's business. And so he's reached the level of subs and level of his shows are getting 1 million views a night.
Are you serious?
Yep.
X22.
Yep.
Damn, good for
Dude,
him,
check
man.
his Rumble.
I'm gonna go sub to his Rumble, and ladies and gents, sub to our Rumbles as well. I'm streaming on YouTube. Are you streaming on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube, Rumble,
Okay,
Twitter.
Cool. Okay. I'm just making sure. I didn't want you to go, go full in on me, and I'm streaming on YouTube, so I wanted to make sure you were streaming on YouTube too. If we go down, we go down together.
Hey, this will be my 4th channel.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy.
My first channel, when they canceled it, I was almost at 100,000 subs. And I was growing like 4,000 subs a day. And they cut that bitch.
Well, I'm shadow banned. Me and Rice TVX, we shadow banned like a mug over there on YouTube. But yeah, I gotta go check out X22 on Rumble. I didn't know he was still doing this thing. Good for him, man. Yeah, I interviewed him back in it. Go look for Crypto Blood X22 report. I think the interview is definitely still up.
Yeah, and him and I are actually, because he also lives in Florida here. Him and I are actually going out to lunch in a few weeks. And I'll actually about to see about getting you on his show.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Because I was a early supporter. Look, real recognize real, Ben.
Yep.
No matter what skin color, no matter what creed, what religion, real recognize real at the end of the day. And I recognize his work back then for sure.
And but the reason I said Trump does too is, all right, remember when Trump launched an NFT?
Oh, I still got them. Yeah, I bought some.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tip of the hat to the crypto community.
I didn't take it that way.
Well, it's the people that are close to him have communicated that.
I can believe that for sure. Right. I don't know if he fully understands it. Maybe he doesn't really, or didn't when he was when he was president. Maybe he didn't.
When he was president, all right, when he was president, he had a timeline. He's still on a timeline. This, all right, I'm going to go deep, man.
Ladies and gents.
All right. Trump's has always pointed to Andrew Jackson. All right. Andrew Jackson. That's why Trump had Andrew Jackson up in the Oval Office. That's why day one, the first press conference he did from the Oval Office, he pointed out in the painting of Andrew Jackson, he made the camera move so he could go, my favorite president of all time, and point with a pregnant pause. Right? You have to be able to talk Trump. Right? Trump says things without saying it. And if you can speak Trump, you understand he's always dropping breadcrumbs. Always. And when he pointed at Andrew Jackson and he said, my favorite president of all time, and then pregnant pause as he looked at the camera. When I
Why is that?
saw that,
What was he saying there?
all right,
What was he signaling?
do you know the history of Andrew Jackson's presidency?
No, you're the historian for sure.
All right,
That's why I'm listening. I got all ears.
Andrew Jackson ran for president against the establishment and the central bank. Andrew Jackson was elected president because he actually kept the election fair in some of the newer territories. And he won. He wasn't supposed to win. And Andrew Jackson was not supposed to win, but he won.
What was he, like the fifth or sixth president? What was he?
The 11th, 12th, I think.
Okay.
It's just 1830s, 1840s ish, up that way, like 18, yeah, around there. All right.
Okay.
So Trump's elected.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Jackson had 7 assassination attempts against him. 7. His wife was murdered his first term. They went after him like crazy. Then after his first term, the powers that be rigged the election and Andrew Jackson lost to a rigged election. And it was proven rigged later on.
Of course.
All right. So Andrew Jackson, during the presidency of the other guy, which is just totally irrelevant because he would basically know what we got now, Joe Biden, fucking dumbass. All right. But then during the whole time he wasn't president, he toured around the country educating the people on what what he called the Illuminati and the bankers. And it was known, the next election was known as the Bank Wars. And Andrew Jackson won the next election. So he won one election, got robbed of the second election, won the third election. Now, the third election he won with the help of an official from Florida, ironically, who actually ran against Andrew Jackson to absorb the money that the Illuminati was pouring into his campaign.
We need to extend term limits. Like before. Yeah.
As in like presidencies
Yes.
longer?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
Yes.
know about that. That's a
Why not?
Well, I look at Roosevelt. He was in four terms.
Right.
He basically had to die.
Yeah.
He,
But did we have electoral college back then?
we've always had electoral college. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I say longer is because in order to, again, if it's going to be done in a civil manner, which I don't think, this is probably the only way it could possibly be changed and we can capture back America, is that we extend term limits and get a good person in there who can then truly drain the swamp. Trump couldn't drain the swamp. He couldn't do it if he wanted to. And he says that, and many people believe that he wanted to, but 8 years is not enough time to get the deep state out of there, bro.
Well, see, that's where I think that a lot of people have an unrealistic expectation of the power of a presidency, because you have to understand that the swamp is the full bureaucracy of Washington and associated organizations.
In the
So,
banking, Washington, D.C. and New York.
right,
The central
Washington,
bank.
D.C., New York, the NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, the charities that are actually they're political advocates. They're not charities. And so when you say drain the swamp, it ain't draining the elected officials. It's draining the uh, the bureaucracies of the EPA. It's
It's
that's
eliminating the head of the FBI, the head of the
yep.
CIA. All that, those are non-elected, no term limit type of positions. That's the deep state.
Well, it's eliminating the FBI. It's eliminating the CIA
But
because
is that really going
see,
to happen?
we
Is that really going to happen?
absolutely. It and I'll give you an example, right?
There will have to be a coup. There will, like I said, there will have to be a situation that we're seeing in Russia right now happen here in
Right.
America. Okay.
And we've
All
had
right.
it happen. We've had that coup happen twice in the last 125 years. It's just no one was ever educated about the coups from 1917 until 1920. Is exactly what we're going through right now. If Hillary Clinton would have won, we would have went into World War III.
I don't
Right?
think so.
Oh, I do. Absolutely. She 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 and the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas and all of the, you have to understand the cancer killing America is the progressive movement. All right. Romney is a progressive.
Yeah.
Bush is a progressive. What I mean by progressive is they
Bush too
be
wasn't. He was all right. He wasn't that bad, but he was a
no,
progressive. I agree.
yep,
I agree. At the end of the day, he fell in line. He did what he was supposed
yep.
to do.
The definition of a progressive, there's actually two of them, is any elected official that points to government first as solution. That's a progressive because they're
Right.
building the progressive system.
And then the
The,
other definition of progressive is a good definition of progressive, right?
well, there is a good definition of progressive. It's just not. Uh, it's just not organized in a movement. It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's like you and I could be called progressive
Correct. Correct.
uh,
But that's how they
conservatives
that's
or
how they
libertarians.
that's how they mind fuck us though, because they'll co-opt, they'll take words and definitions and put their own on top,
Oh
and
yeah,
make
oh,
everybody confused.
don't get me started on the origination of the English language historically. And I'll just say this real quick: the English language was created to manipulate human consciousness using phonics. All right. That's why when you go to school and you're sitting there trying to memorize words, that's why they call it spelling, because you're putting a spell on people using the English language. The English language is the only language in the world that is that was not naturally developed in a society. It was created by an elite and it was implemented to the general public as part of the Crusades years ago. They weren't spreading the Bible, they were spreading the English language because then they had a reason to translate the Bible into the new language because the the closest religion to Jesus's religion is Islam.
That's
I'm
a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down on that one
I'm
episode,
sorry,
because
Christians. I
yeah, I know, I'm with you,
I
and I'm starting to
myself
realize it, like,
I myself
I know
am a
you're a Christian.
follower of Jesus Christ,
Right.
but I
Right.
am not a follower of the church.
Right. Okay. Got you.
Right? The
Yeah.
English
Yeah, the
language.
Christianity is losing a lot. They're losing a lot of points right now, you know.
Yep.
But
It's but it's the third turning that everyone talks about. Right? The first turning was going from religion to government. Now we're going from government to technocracy. And that's why they're rolling out AI right now, because AI is the modern equivalent of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Right? The Encyclopedia Britannica was written and created by the early progressive movement from the London School of Economics. Charles Darwin and
yes.
and Karl Marx and uh, they they were part of the Enlightenment, and those are who created the Encyclopedia Britannica because it was, as you remember, the people knocking on the door. You know, everyone used to refer to the Encyclopedia Britannica as you want to know something, go check it out in the encyclopedia.
Right.
Well, if you're the one writing the Encyclopedia Britannica, you set the floor of reality for the next
That's right.
150, 200 years. Well, that's what they did. But now, oh, hey, Ivan, thank you so much. Uh, Now, what they're doing is because everything's going digital, they're they're transferring that authority of knowledge into AI. Because look at all the AI that's coming out. This is not. There's one open AI. All the other AI is AI filtered. It's like Google's AI is limited to 3% of the internet of knowledge.
Yeah,
That's it.
they have Lambda is the full set. That what they're
Yep.
dealing with now with Bard is not, like you said, is a watered down version of it. And yeah, I've been following the whole AI stuff for many years now, Ben. And actually reported, I did a first video on Chat GPT 2 about 3 years ago, telling everybody about what's going on and what's to come. And sure enough, it's here even faster than I thought it would be. But I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I put a tweet out it was maybe a day or so ago, and I said here on the screen, AI will change the concept of currency / money altogether, a new paradigm, time to change the way you think. Um, and I was, wondering if you felt like we would get to a point where, AI eliminates money. Do you think
Yeah.
we'll ever get to that point?
No.
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 Okay.
And hang on 1 second. I gotta answer somebody here. Hey, Bitcoin Ben, if you're not already aware of it, you have massive kidney disease, and your body is in a state of emergency. Brother, you're preaching to the choir. I already know my issues, and I am addressing them, but very perceptive. I Go ahead.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, for sure. Yeah, I was just wondering, man. I posed that question because I actually think that AI is going to eliminate currency, because I really envision a different paradigm, one that we've never really been in before, where you're not
Oh, I
really
see what you're
working.
saying.
You're not working for cash anymore because there is no work to do.
Yeah,
Now that may be 20, 40, 50 years, 100 years from now. I'm just saying, like, I really can see that.
yeah, I actually did a lecture at Utah University
Oh,
about
really?
a year ago
Oh,
on like
nice.
cryptocurrency, and and I actually bet a guy out in the audience that within 5 years food will be free,
Mm,
and he's like,
that's the
"What?"
same. That's along the same lines I'm thinking, Ben. You're going in the
And
same direction.
yep, and I said, "You don't
Wow.
understand, man. You don't understand the level. It's not obvious to a lot of people now because." Um, they're wrapped up in their everyday lives. That's understandable. But like me, uh, I live in this world. I got no other job. I do my shows and I do research. That's it, right? We're we're not only, and this is the beginning with AI. We're not only going into a different type of technology. The speed in which we advance is about to go parabolic. We're You're gonna see things one day, then 4 days later that make that thing you just saw irrelevant, and it's going to
Correct.
blow your brain again. And
Exactly.
the amount of technology, and I mean, folks, and I'm not exaggerating, look this up. They can literally create molecules with pure energy now. Humans can manipulate frequency of energy to create molecules. Give them 2 years and they will print, which they're already doing now, but it's in the early stages, but it won't take long. They can print food out of pure energy.
And yeah, so that I did a video maybe about 2 years ago. It was a My Two Cents video, and it was about an experiment or project company was doing creating gold.
Yeah,
They
and
were able
silver.
to and silver, all basically any matter, because now you can arrange the molecules. All gold is an arrangement of molecules
Hey,
to
hon.
make it gold.
Yeah,
So yeah, all my gold bugs out there, love y'all, but I don't
yeah.
know, man.
No, no.
Might need to look at Bitcoin.
That's that, dude. That's why I owe. And you know me, blood. I'll get emotional,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's why I opened this club, man. I'll be honest with you, blood. Me and my wife, we could walk away from this motherfucker, live on an island, drink drinks
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of our motherfucking lives. I ain't going out like that.
Mm,
I ain't let my people go out like that. It's,
right.
man, we got a lot of people to save. We got a lot of
Yeah,
people to warn.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's deep, bro. It is. It's a lot of people to warn, exactly, because most people are still unaware. They're really unaware of what's going on, the paradigm shift that's happening. And it's literally the quiet before the storm. Like the stock market's going up. Everything looks Gucci, but it's not. It's
no,
really it's a lot going on behind the scenes. And if you're in tune with the universe or God or whoever you want to call it, you're seeing it. You're seeing it, and I see that. Ben, you're definitely seeing it.
yeah,
So we
it's
just got to
it's
continue to try to educate as many people as possible.
we we are a broken society. We have so many broken souls out there, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's and what keeps me going is
Mm-hmm.
my anger for the sons of bitches that did this. You know, 99.9% of people are good people. You know, they just want to live their lives, love their families, just be left alone. But we got evil blood, man. There is a God and there is a devil. And and you're right. And man, I'm next to you. Men need to stand up and call evil evil.
Correct.
And I get in trouble all the time. But I don't, man, fuck them. Fuck them and their trouble. Because I'm tired of it, man. We gotta do this. We got we got one shot. Because whoever takes over the blockchain takes over the world. And that is hashtag facts, as my daughter would say. He,
Well, I actually think something slightly different, and it's already happened. That's why I'm so concerned. And you're a bit more optimistic than I am.
I got half
I
hope,
just
man.
I know. I'm just keep it real, man. I don't know.
Oh, I know. I
But
know.
I think it's more been whoever controls the AI wins, and they already had. It's already in a concentrated scenario, and you do have to give some credit to the CEO of OpenAI for Sam Altman for trying. He's like, let's give it. That's why he threw it out there to the wild,
Yeah.
because he knew this was out of control. This
Do
was going to be
you
bad.
know they threatened him?
No, I didn't.
Yep. Dude, they said, do not release this. Do not. We will come after you if you release this. And he did. He that dude is going to go down as the Satoshi Nakamoto of AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, and the reason I say blockchain is the only thing we have, and when I say this, I think you'll agree. The only weapon we have against AI is truthful blockchain AI. Think about that.
I hear where you're going. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Because we do have to have some checks and balances with with OpenAI's Chat GPT language model, because who's seeding it? They're behind the
Bingo.
scenes filtering things. So I'm with you. Absolutely. If we can have a true, transparent, large language model that we know for a fact isn't being censored or filtered. Hmm.
What
I'm
what
with you.
we need is a decentralized AI,
Large language model. Yeah.
large language model that is triggered to create a block when a consensus of validators, which would be the human race.
What do you think about Neuralink? I heard they started doing testing trials on
That's
this a few
part of it.
weeks ago.
Neuralink is actually part of what I'm talking about. All right. And we are going Star Trek here. All right. Yeah, no doubt. Is is we Neuralink is going to be part of the system that we use to create the AI system, the evolving AI system that will resolve in blockchain of the future, right? Because Neuralink is is going to give us the capability to validate individuals. We're going to be able to, now this is going to sound sci-fi and fucked up to some people. You're going to be able to use DNA and outer space to validate your identity.
What do you mean by outer space? What does that mean?
All right, y'all ready? Here we go. The people working on freedom based digital identity. This is how you are going to be able to choose to create a digital identity. Is you're going to take a picture of yourself like this, except a little bit far away, where they can see your face and see outer space at the same time. Right? This is one of the methods where it can compare your voice, because it's going to be voice, face and
Celestial
space,
constellation arrangement where you are. Is
right?
that what you're saying?
Where they can triangulate your exact position and exact time that you took that picture and sent it in to validate your identity. That's
Okay.
how um, you're going to create an identity in this new system. They originally were going to go with DNA, then the progressive launched 23andMe. And that kind of fucked it up, right? Because now they have a lot of people's DNA.
Damn, they got me, Ben. They got me.
Oh, they got me, dude.
Yeah, I did the ancestry.com thing. Yeah.
Yep.
It
And
was cool. I mean, I know they made 80,000 off me, but at least I know I am from Africa now.
yeah, well, I mean, really, we're all from Africa.
I know.
I
But I'm
mean, it's
saying, like, you know, a few, you know, maybe 4 or 5, 6 generations back.
yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting, bro. Wow.
It's it.
No, I brought up the Neuralink though thing because I'm just wondering, are you skeptical of, like, I like Elon Musk, and but he's a human, right? He does some he does some questionable things sometimes, like not letting Alex Jones back on Twitter. But
I think Alex Jones will be back. In fact, Alex Jones actually did an interview with. Oh, hang on one second. I have to address something. This might be one of your viewers. Hey Ben, what happened to the football fan coin? You just steal everyone's money.
oh, shots fired at my man Ben.
Okay, go on Twitter. All right, my friend C4. I'm not saying that you have a bad agenda. What I'm saying is that you may not be educated. All right, go on Twitter and look for fan controlled football league, FCFL. They're around, they have a league, and they're playing. Check it out. Love you, brother.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, so
All right,
I usually don't even respond to the haters or the
oh,
trollers. I'm not saying he's a hater. I don't know C4.
yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen him before, but
it's uh, the reason I wanted to address him is it's I assume that C4 is a nice guy. Now the fact that he wrote "You steal everybody's money," but he had question marks behind it. It was the
yeah, he
question
did.
marks that saved that. Man, I don't steal nobody's money.
Oh
All right.
man, that's why I love doing these with Ben, bro. This is good. This is good. Good stream, bro.
And Willie Blood will tell you, I ain't scared of nobody's shit. Man,
No.
if
Donald Muhammad, he be on you though, man. Donald Muhammad been on you since I had you on back in
oh
2017, 18.
hey,
That
I'll tell
brother,
you what though,
man.
dude, I love that
He's a
dude.
Muslim. Yeah,
I
he
love
be
him.
on me too. He on Twitter. He's always
It,
blood. You ain't talking about this, and I'm like,
but
man, he's
yet,
doing too
think
much,
about
brother.
it,
Too much.
man. It's the conversation that matters. All right. He
Exactly.
may not
But
like me, and I have nothing against him.
right, because you
But
don't
if
know him.
we're having dialect, all right, now as long as it don't get all pissy and ugly, but
Mm-hmm.
if it's a constructive conversation, I do it all day long.
And that's where we've lost that though, Ben. People are scared to converse with one another in a way where we may not be agreeing. We're scared to do that now.
Yeah, yeah, because you'd Shit, you misgender somebody and up in Canada, you're going to jail. That's against the law now up in Canada. If you use the wrong pronoun, you go to jail.
That's crazy.
And remember the issue I had years ago that you and me did the video on? All right.
The what now?
Remember the video you and I did whenever the N word was
Oh
the
yeah, when
issue?
you said nigga, yeah, I
All
remember
right.
that.
That was part of my argument, was there can't be a word that you can't say.
Exactly. Because once you ban one, it just starts to start the time.
Right. Right.
Before it's 1984 and you got 5 words to choose from, and that's it.
Right. And that would that was the point I was making when you and I talked, was, man, you take one word and you and your group tells another group that they can't say that word.
And then the other group, my group, say the word to each other.
Right.
I
But
don't, I
then,
like I said, we've already went down that one because I'm from, like, I grew up. It's a hip hop, like, we've changed the whole energy of that word, and so I don't even
yeah.
listen.
Oh,
Black
no,
folks,
no, I
we got way worse to worry about. This is what I'm
right.
trying to help y'all understand. I
What
was
I
here so this weekend, Ben, we had a
That's a
freedom walk.
slippery slope right there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the slippery slope, because words are just opinions. They're not going after the word, they're going after the opinion. The opinion
right,
represents the individual.
right.
As they attack a word, they attack an opinion. After they can't destroy the opinion, they destroy the individual. This is the slippery slope into gas chambers.
Yeah,
And people don't understand that, man. It's once you take an ounce of freedom, you are miles closer to slavery.
you got some people up in here from Canada. They're saying that they don't think that is true about being in going to jail for saying the wrong gender. I thought I saw something about that a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
who's that
Actually, I don't know who.
professor? Uh,
Who?
Real popular right
Oh,
now.
Peterson.
Yeah,
Jordan
Peterson.
Peterson?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're trying to put him in jail. What did he do?
I don't know. They've had him
He
on the hit list
said,
for a minute.
I will not be forced to use a word legally. You will not legally dictate that I have to use a certain word. And they're trying to put him in jail for it. They're not just trying to take his livelihood. And over in Romania, look at what they're doing to that one dude. Um,
Tate.
yeah, Tate. They they're coming after the men that are standing up, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what I have a problem with, man, and it's getting out of control.
he's right. They're trying to take people's children.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is why I hate to say it, but you gotta let people be who they want to be. You gotta let people speak how they want to speak. You gotta let
Bingo.
people hate who they want to hate, love
Yep.
who they want to love, because at least that way, Ben, I know who to congregate with.
Bingo. That, man, you and I have always been on the same page. Yeah, freedom first, man, because I have to value my perceived enemy's freedom as much as I value mine. Because if I
Yeah.
don't, then I'll go down
You'll be the
that
enemy next.
right. And 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 people ask, how did the Nazis not understand what they were doing?
Yeah. It was an echo
Because
chamber.
right, it's the echo chamber, and it, it's the slippery slope. It's the boil the rabbit, boil the frog scenario, but it's in thought. It's
Mm-hmm.
uh, my grandfather had a painting up in his house. First paint, first thing you saw was this painting, and it was a Jew in a uh, in a camp, and he was smiling. And it was black and white, creepiest fucking picture you ever saw in your life. And I always saw it, but I never asked about it. Once I asked about it, I said, "What the hell's up with this damn picture?" My grandfather said, "Boy, it's all perspective."
Mm.
He goes, that, now mind you, my grandfather hated progressives, hated what he called the Jews,
Mm-hmm.
right? He said, "Look at that guy. That guy right there," he goes, "I don't hate that guy." He said, "But I hate the movement that was behind him, the Jewish, because they didn't know anything about like Khazarian Jews or anything."
All right, right, right.
He said, "I don't hate that guy." He goes, "I hate the movement behind him, but I also hate the movement that entrapped him." And and he said, "But look at that, Ben." He goes, "You got a motherfucker standing there that I hate, and I hate the motherfuckers that entrapped him." And he's smiling.
Mm.
That shows you how to look at life. You can have a whole lot of enemies, but you can still smile because it's your soul and your perspective that you go to sleep with at night.
Yeah.
God has what's called situational understanding. God's not going to pull you up to heaven and go, "Boy, you ate meat on Friday. You're going to burn in hell for the rest of
Right.
eternity."
Right, right.
God's going to look at your life and go, "Boy, you did the best you could. You know, you you did the best you could in the situations you were put in. You tried to make the right choice." That's all we can all do, man,
Right.
is try and make the right choice. And that's what Trump's doing. And in a fucked up way, that's what the progressives are doing. See, I view life differently. I view life from the moment you're born to the moment you die. You are walking your road to God. And the things that happen along your road to God is the things that your soul needs to learn before you can get in front of God. So I don't, as much as I care about people and the earth and God, or people and what's going on right now, my soul's at peace. It's my mind that's at war.
Mm.
It's my heart that's at war. But my soul is sitting next to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Deep conversation, bro. Really enjoyed it. Donald Muhammad, we will have to touch on that next time. I was joking with Rice on our last Uncensored about I never heard of a black person being abducted by an alien, but apparently the first abductee was a black was a couple, mixed couple. I'm gonna go do some research on that. I got a couple comments under my Rumble on
All right,
that,
hang on.
but
All right,
we'll
ask
talk.
Ben
Yeah.
about the Nation of Islam connection to what he calls UFOs. And as a researcher, has he respected it? I do not
I don't know
know
anything about it. I'm gonna
what
have to
they
check it
have
out.
said. Uh, in fact, I'll tell you what, Donald, I'll have you on my show. You want to talk about it? I'm interested in it.
Yeah, why not? Actually, Donald tried to get me to have one of his I don't want to say the wrong word, like not an imam. I don't know who it was, but he was trying to get me to have them on. But yeah, I mean that'd be great if we can get Donald on for a show. But
I'll
I
have
gotta run.
anybody on. I love everybody,
Yeah,
and
same here, bro. I don't care who it is. I'm with the smoke. I'm with it. We can talk as long as you're respectful. We can have a debate.
bingo. Long as
I'm
you're
all good with that.
respectful and interesting, man, I'll talk all day long.
Heavy production. Say, let me catch that short, Ben.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
Oh man, it's
see.
been real, Ben. I appreciate you having me on, man, and we got to do
No,
this
I
more often.
appreciate you coming on and
Yeah.
actually being on your show too. And
Yep.
we
Sure.
always have good talks.
Every time. Every
I
time.
love
Make
it.
sure you guys subscribe to Ben's channel.
Oh yeah,
He's doing this thing
check
on
me out
Rumble.
on Rumble
Yeah, on
just in
Rumble.
case they get all
Yeah.
stupid on YouTube again.
Yep. And definitely follow me. And
Yes.
yeah, man, it's been real, bro. I appreciate it. We got to do this again.
Hey, all of the crypto people out there, if you're a trader or if you trade like future, whatever you trade, watch blood. Blood
Yeah.
knows how to trade, man.
Yes, sir. That's what I do pretty much for, for a
That's it.
living. So,
Yep.
and I actually, it's funny you bring that up. I forgot, bloodalytics.com. Check it out because I'm doing a promo right now. You can sign up for a month free of the automated trading system on Fairdesk. So hit me up. You'll get more information at
Wait a
bloodalytics.com.
second. You have an automated trader
Mm-hmm.
that you
An
wrote?
algo I built. Yeah.
Shit, dude, give me a link. I'll put that
Yeah.
shit out. I want
Yeah.
a
Okay. I'll do
referral
that for
link.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's been real, guys. Make sure you again subscribe to the channels, hit that thumbs up, all
Yep.
that good stuff, man.
All right.
It's been great.
Everyone have a great day, and we will definitely do this again, blood.
Absolutely. We got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. Bye bye, guys.